Heroes Toy Reviews is not intended for children or anyone under the age of 17.
Today on Heroes Toy Reviews, we'll be talking about Masters Universe Origins, Mantenna.
Hebro77 here, and welcome to a brand new YouTube channel. This is Hebro's Toy Reviews. But this is the 1983 Jump Jetpack. I just broke his crotch. What do you think about her? I was playing tennis with Super. These are games. And this is the owner, Daniel.
Hello and welcome to Heroes Toy Reviews. And today we will be talking about Masters Universe Origins Mantenna, which is new under the 40th anniversary line, which it's really not even saying Masters Universe Origins, but we do know that that's what this figure is. Now I will be taking him out of the package for the review to do a comparison, because I do already own two of these figures, although we only need the one to do a comparison. The Evil Horde was one of my favorite villains, which wasn't even in the Filmation Masters Universe show, but rather the She-Ra Masters Universe show, in which, yes, I did watch as a kid. For this specific reason, I loved the villains of that show. So with no further ado, let's get to the review. We are at the 40th anniversary Masters of the Universe Origins Mantenna, and this is quite some guy, let me tell you. This is, of course, our usual retro play there on the side. I am going to take him out of the package, and this package is exactly how I remember it being as a kid. You'd go in the store, you pick it up, you'd see it said the Horde, the Evil Horde, right on the front of the package. I do remember that. And as a kid, I vaguely remember watching the show She-Ra, and that's where the Evil Horde would pop up in episodes of She-Ra. Now, I did have girl cousins, I did have sisters. My sisters, however, by the time they were watching cartoons, Masters Universe wasn't even a thing anymore, but I did have some younger girl cousins who watched the show, and I'd be over there when the show was on and watch the show. Sometimes you'd have to do that kind of thing in secret, because, you know, you're a boy, you didn't want to be seen, you know, watching girl shows. But She-Ra was cool because she was a part of He-Man, so that made it right. And the same logic was used when buying action figures of Teela and Evelyn. I remember as a kid growing up, I didn't want to ask for those action figures, but I did, and I did get them, you know, but it was sort of a struggle to, like, you know, same thing with G.I. Joes. I don't think I had any female characters from G.I. Joe. But anyway, I just went into a long spiel there. We're here talking about Mantenna. This is the 40th anniversary, as it says there on the sticker, of Mantenna from the Evil Horde. The Evil Horde. I almost said Evil Horde Prime. But eyes really pop out, is what it says here on the package. Now, in the cartoons, Mantenna's eyes would pop out, and there would be this sort of effect where they would a beam would shoot out of them, and his enemies would they would lose their balance and fall over. That's what I remember from the cartoons. Now, this does come with an all brand new original comic mini comic, so we will be looking at that as well. But first, let's turn the package over for the cross sell. The cross sell, as you can see here, comes with the 2000X He-Man. Of course, it shows Mantenna, 2000X Skeletor, and Pighead, which I have no idea who that is. And it shows you here how to use Mantenna's pop-out eyed feature. Say that 5 times fast. And of course, he comes with his weapon, the same kind of crossbow type weapon that the original came with. And now, with all of that being said, oh, here's a little file card like thing here at the top. And as you see, this card art here shows the Snake Man, Tongue Lasher, and I believe that's Rattler, and of course the rest of the Horde figures, which I assume are coming. Hordak and Grizzlor there in the background. And I love this artwork. Mantenna looks very, very vicious here. Oh, and if you look to the far, far, far back in the background, you see King Hiss off in the background. Now, there's a little thing here that says, the loyal spy for Hordak uses his protruding eyes to fire electric blast at his enemies. So, there you have it. There's a little history there on Mantenna. And now that we've gone through that, let's take them out of the package. Most of these Masters of the Universe Origins figures, there's not much of a difference between them and the original. But I could tell you right now, from just looking at him, the biggest difference on this figure is the legs. And what they've actually done is they've taken from the cartoon, he had 4 legs. And on the original toy, which we'll take a look at here in just a second, the 4 legs gimmick was not even a thing, which back then, of course, these toys all used very similar molds. So the legs, they molded it all together to make it look like the appearance of 4 legs without actually giving him 4 legs. And that's because they had everything on that rubber band, that black band inside the legs. And it was nearly probably impossible to give him actual 4 legs. Now, they would do this later with Modulok, but his body had a different build to it. Now, of course, we've got the 4 legs here on Mantenna on this one, which I applaud them for doing. And as you can see, here is the pop-out eye feature. And one thing I'm noticing right now is it does not stick like the original. The original, you didn't have to hold it down. It held into place when you did this. And this is on the back of the head. On the original, it's on the back. Which, you know, the fact that they gave him a gimmick, that they did the gimmick to begin with, is nothing short but amazing. And here is the weapon that I was talking about, the crossbow. And this crossbow doesn't look much different from the original, and actually has the same function. You push down on this, and it just basically expands, given that the appearance of it being fired. And of course, you see it flexing. And we used to do this a lot when we were kids. Just have the crossbow kind of like that, and then boom, pretend like there was something shooting out of there. And this goes on the arms, much like it did on the original. And there is Mantenna with his crossbow in hand. Now, time for comparison time. Here is the original Mantenna Now, this is my original Mantenna, so the paint, there's a little bit of paint wear problems, and you'll see that with a lot of these original figures. The eyeballs are completely blue because the white on the eyeballs has worn off. But other than that, he's in pretty good shape, and this is what I mean about the legs. The legs are just 2 legs with the appearance of 4 legs, like I said. Of course, they have that rubber inside there, so it would have been almost impossible to do. And the switch here is on the back of the original, and as you can see, the eyes stay bugged out once they're bugged out, unlike the new one where you just, this happens. But I've got to say, I still love the original, even with all its flaws, even though it doesn't have the correct amount of legs. His eyes, I like the eye feature a lot better. This one, I like the leg feature a lot better. So when you have them side by side there, Masters Universe Origins, of course, is newer, it's shinier, and all of that. He is, though, a top tier figure. I highly recommend him as part of your Masters Universe Origins collection. And here is the comic book, the mini comic book that came with the figure. And I'm sure this is the same mini comic that's going to come with all of the other, the new ones from 2022 that we're going to get. Of course, on the back it shows the same thing it does on the toys. And there's Sunman, which I was never even aware of any existence of Sunman, and all of that. I think that was a He-Man 2000X sort of deal. The Horrors of Pighead. And there's Pighead. Of course, you gotta get the Pighead figure. And I always liked these mini comics as a kid. And the thing about the mini comics is, as a kid, they came individually with each figure. It was a different comic. Now, we get the same mini comic with the same set of figures for. They just lump it into a set of figures for 2022, which is kind of disappointing. But anyway, yeah, that pretty much does it for this review. I like the new version of Mantenna, but I still favor the original over the new. I like him. I think he looks awesome. I like the way the eyes stay bugged out when you press down the lever. I like also the fact the lever's on the back of this one as opposed to the head, because the head just seems like, I don't know, it just seems like it doesn't cause the eyeballs to extend as much. If you take a look, these seem to extend just a little bit further. So both of these figures are good for your collection. And you're in your local Walmart, pick up a Mantenna. So a lot of history on Masters Universe and She-Ra and the Evil Horde. And, when you get into the Evil Horde, you can also throw in the 2002 version of the story, which is much more diverse than the original 80s telling of the story, which is that Hordak was actually Skeletor's teacher or mentor, and Hordak was responsible for saving Kildor, and through some kind of magic spell, giving Skeletor his powers and his restoring his face, sort of like what the Emperor did to Darth Vader. So there's certainly a lot of interesting lore behind all of that, and I do hope that the toy line continues and we get more Horde figures. I do know that there was a Hordak figure released for the 2020 or 2022 line, or 2021 line, excuse me. But I could only find it online on eBay. I think Brian's Toys and so forth. But as soon as I do get my hands on future Masters Universe Origin toys, I am definitely going to review them. But until then, just remember, knowing isn't just half the battle, it's the whole damn war. Well, see you next time.
The ultimate threat to the universe is here.
I am Hordak, and this is my evil horde.
Leech! Mantenna!
Your evil even scares me, Hordak, my friend. The evil horde has no friends.
The Evil Horde, new from the Masters of the Universe collection. All figures each sold separately.
Let me out of here!
From Mattel.